On the outside, lane 8, Shirley Nekhubui of South Africa. She's run 22.91 this year and owns a personal best of 22.84. She's a genuine threat. Lane 7, Paris People of the USA, who's dipped just inside 24 seconds this season and is looking to make her mark on this stage. Lane 6, Bassant Hemida of Egypt, the Egyptian record holder, big speed, serious contender. Briana Williams of Jamaica in lane 5, she's in strong form, broken the 23-second barrier multiple times this season, running 22.69 this year. Lane 4, Miranda Coetzee of South Africa, another member of a strong South African contingent here tonight, personal best of 22.71. Vittoria Fontana of Italy in lane 3, experienced Italian international, competes for the Carabinieri Club, knows how to perform when it counts, and lane 2, Gloria Hooper for Italy. A very familiar face on the European circuit, a fan favorite wherever she lines up. Seven women, 1 gold, Egyptian speed against Jamaican power, South African muscle against Italian experience. Every lane has a legitimate shot at the podium, and the 200 meters doesn't forgive anybody who hesitates. The bend is where this race gets sorted out, and the straight is where it gets decided. Williams has been the form runner this season, breaking 23 seconds multiple times. Hemida is the Egyptian record holder, and she has the tools to go very fast tonight. Nekhubui, on the outside, has a personal best of 22.84, and she has shown she can deliver on the big occasion. This is a genuinely open final. The stadium is loud, the atmosphere is tight, and these women are ready. They're at their marks. And they are away. Williams flies out of lane 5, eating up the stagger on the outside. She's closing hard on Nekhubui, who is running well. But here comes Hemida with real power in the final meters. Williams is fading. Hemida drives through and takes the lead. Bassant Hemida wins it, 22.91 for Egypt. You don't see Egyptian victories on the international stage every day, and Hemida delivered. Nekhubui of South Africa takes silver at 22.99, just outside her personal best. Gloria Hooper comes through strongly for bronze in 23.07. Hemida's arms are raised, the Egyptian flag is out, and the emotion on her face says everything. Watch it again. Off the gun, Williams gets the best start in the field. She's low, aggressive, picking up speed faster than anyone else out here. Through the first 50 meters, she's already built a clear advantage, and rounding the bend, she looks for all the world like the winner of this race. Look at the margin she opens on Nekhubui on the outside. Almost half a stride right there, and Nekhubui is running well herself. But now watch the final straight. Williams starts to tie up. The legs go heavy and the gap begins to close. Here's Hemida coming out of lane 6, driving her arms, keeping her form together while Williams visibly starts going backwards. Fontana is also working hard off the bend for Italy, but it's Hemida who moves past and locks onto the leaders. This is the decisive moment right here. Hemida hits full stride as Williams hits the wall, and from this point, there is only one outcome. Hooper also finds another gear in the final 30 meters, moving through the field late. Hemida crosses in 22.91. Bassant Hemida also holds the Egyptian 100-meter record at 11.02, and tonight she's added this 200-meter title. Williams was the story through the first 150 meters. Out of lane 5, she got the sharpest start in the field and carried it around the bend with real authority. She had already eaten through the stagger on the women outside her, and closing in on Nekhubui at the 120-meter mark, she looked like the winner. That's the moment the race appeared decided. It wasn't. The decisive shift happened somewhere between 150 and 180 meters. Williams stopped accelerating. She didn't collapse dramatically, but in a 200 meters, stopping accelerating is the same thing as going backwards. And Hemida, patient through the turn, hit the straight with her form intact and her speed still building. That's the race. Not the finish line, not the final 10 meters. The moment Hemida was still driving while Williams was holding on, Hemida ran lane 6, which in a 200 final is a reasonable draw. Not ideal, not a liability. What matters more is what she did with the curve. She ran it controlled, didn't spend herself trying to make up ground early, and came off the bend with enough left to run the final 60 meters at something close to full tilt. That's a specific skill. A lot of sprinters, especially those with 400 backgrounds, understand how to pace the curve and save the straight. Hemida has that instinct. Her 22.91 wasn't a surprise to anyone who'd watched her build through this season, but the way she executed it, letting Williams take the race on and then taking it back, showed a composure you don't always see. Nekhubui ran well. 22.9 to nice on the outside in lane 8 is a genuinely strong performance. She was right in the race through the bend, and the final margin between her and Hemida was 0.08. That's not a beating. The narrative of the race pushed Williams to the front, but Nekhubui was always there. She finishes second and she ran just outside her personal best of 22.84. That's a near miss rather than a disappointment. And there's no shame in losing to Hemida by less than a tenth when Hemida is running like this. Williams is the performance that needs explaining. Pre-race, she was the form runner. She'd broken 23 seconds multiple times this season and ran 22.69. On the bend, she looked to have justified every bit of that reputation. Then the straight came and the legs didn't answer. It happens. The 200 is unforgiving that way. A brilliant first half can empty you for the second, especially if you push the curve harder than you intend to. Whatever the cause, 23.73 is well below what she'd shown this season, and she'll know it. Hooper's bronze at 23.07 is worth a moment of attention. Coming through late for third, running lane 2, she found something in the final 40 meters that the others around her couldn't. Fontana in lane 3 ran 23.09, 400ths behind her compatriot, and the Italy 1-2 on the podium is significant for Italian sprinting. Two Italians inside 23.10 in the same final is a sign of genuine depth rather than a one-off. Egyptian sprinting doesn't often register on the international stage at this level. Hemida's 22.91 here is a serious result in any company. She holds the Egyptian 100-meter record at 11.02, which tells you she has raw speed. But winning a 200 final at this level requires more than speed. It requires the kind of race intelligence she showed today, and that's harder to develop and harder to maintain. Egyptian track and field has produced distance runners and jumpers with global relevance over the years, but a 22.91 in the 200 flat is a different category of result, and it shouldn't be filed away quietly. At 22.91, Hemida is operating at a level that would be competitive at most major championship finals. The question now is what she does with it. This performance sets a marker. If she can carry this fitness and this composure into the next major competition, she won't be the athlete opponents underestimate off the turn. She'll be the one they're looking for.